countrymen this season. Jeff Probyn, who had stitches inserted in an ear wound after last week's international at Twickenham, failed a fitness test, and his place at tight head prop is taken by Gary Holmes. But Wasps' other England men, Paul Rendell, Rob Andrew and Mark Bailey, are all playing. Down Gloucester way, they'll tell you that they were well short of full strength on their last visit to Sudbury. No such excuses this time. Mike Teague, who has everything to play for, bearing in mind next week's international in Paris, is at number 8. Derek Morgan has recovered from a damaged shoulder and plays on the wing, and Marcus Hannaford returns at scrum half. The commentator is David Mercer.
41-year-old Scottish referee David Leslie, who'll be in charge of his first Five Nations International, England against Wales at Twickenham in 3 weeks' time, checks that both sides are ready, and Rob Andrew gets this third-round Pilkington Cup tie underway. First ball to Gloucester, as Hannaford begins to open up. The referee spots that the ball has gone forward from the hand in the first scrum. Big test now for Wasps, with Gary Holmes brought in at the last moment for Jeff Probyn. Probyn not recovering from the 20 stitches he had at the end of last week's England and Ireland international. Bates feeds. Ryan holds. And Bates the little chip into the box. Morgan waits. Doesn't take it cleanly. Comes back on the Wasp side. Just 5 metres short. It's stolen there by Preedy. But offside. Awful hook, a bad start for Rob Andrew, a chance missed. Tim Smith, the Gloucester full-back, with the restart from the 22. Scrappy ball tidied up by Ryan. Gloucester almost steal it. Mr. Leslie decides to give the scrum to the home side. Steve Bates, the man born in Merthyr, won England cap against Romania, and again Ryan holds, and again Bates into the box. Smith waits underneath it and loses it. But again, knocked forward. So Wasps getting all the early pressure. The scrum 10 metres out from the Gloucester line. Bates feeds. Still going for the shove. Wasps hold it. Bates out to Andrew. This is Sims. A little chip through for Bailey. Bailey's going to be there first. Mark Bailey gets the try. Bailey, who scored a hat-trick of tries in the league when Wasps beat Gloucester. Here we see it again. Bates gave it out to Andrew. The little mismove in the centre, and the lovely chip through for the wing. And Bailey is always beating Derek Morgan to that one. Tidy ball tidied up there by David Pegler for Wasps. But Gloucester steal it. This is Hannaford. Taken by Ryan. A drive by the Wasps. Teague emerges with the ball, scooped up by Preedy. This is Morg. Gloucester working the narrow side. A lovely little chip forward takes play deep into the Wasps' 22. Simmons wipes the greasy ball. Throws to the middle, untidy ball again. Through go Gloucester, through Gadd. And a try! Try for Gloucester by John Gadd, who scored their try in the league in October. And Gloucester are level. Untidy ball won by Wasps in the middle. Actually might have tapped forward there by Gadd, but he picked it up before it hit the ground and was driven over for the equalising score. Bates gets bad ball as Gloucester come through Dunn, and Hannaford chips on down that far side. Bailey waits and takes and makes the mark, but in touch. Ten minutes of the match have gone, and Gloucester recovering from that early setback, the Mark Bailey try, putting the pressure on the home side. Bad ball for the Wasps in the line-out, and some obstruction, and a chance for Gloucester. Hamlin calls up Smith for the kick and goal. Chance to put his side in front. Certainly got the height and the direction. Gloucester in front for the first time. 7 points to 4 they lead. Both sets of scrum look solid. And gets a little foot in there. Again, Gloucester work the narrow side. Hannaford links back up with the forwards. Back to Hannaford. This is Teague. Gad, now they swing it. Hamlin, little dummy, goes back to the forwards, finds Brain. Over the 22, Hannaford. Teague. Well tackled there by Clough. Out to Hamlin. Chooses to come back to the narrow side. Chip ahead for Breeze. And David Leslie has spotted a head-high tackle and has awarded a penalty. No mistake. Tim Smith takes Gloucester into double figures, 10 points to 4. Andrew holds it up high for the forwards. Tapped back by O'Leary. But again, through come Gloucester. Pegler rescues it. It's put to ground by Dunn. Ryan it was. And Ryan on the floor and 1 or 2 boots going in. Dean Ryan joined Wasps from Saracens at the start of this season and is now recovered from a broken left arm. And he gives it a good thrack. And it's over. It's over. What a kick. And the Wasps skipper, much to the delight of the home supporters, brings Wasps right back into the match. 3 points now, the deficit. Bates, Andrew hasn't found touch again. Smith can't take it cleanly. Mogg does. Richard Mogg over the 22. Great break by Mogg. Still going. Can't get the pass to hand. The race is there. Who's won it? The try has been given. All started when Tim Smith failed to gather. Mogg, though, did. Went straight for the corner. Saw the opportunity. Good running by the centre. Now it goes to ground. Hacked on by Breeze. Well, I have to say that I think it was a Wasp's hand there first, but the referee is the man who counts. Well, that looks like a black hand to me. Two-man line called by Wasps on the Gloucester 22. O'Leary wins it, better ball this time, comes out to Andrew. Clough links up here with Pinniger on the Gloucester 22. Bates looks, finds it. Again the drive on by the back row. Taken to ground. And a penalty for offside in front of the posts. Hamlin telling his side that's not the sort of error they can make, particularly when they've just had that bit of luck to stretch their lead. And the lead is cut to 4 points. Teague on the pickup, just going to ground. Picked up by Mogg, well recovered. Support from the forwards, this is where Gloucester is so good, and they roll it off again. There's this little drive, that's the halfway line. Saps the energy of the defenders, this, and you've been driven back. Where's it going to emerge? Teague, need we ask who get it, gives it on to Smith. Support now from Scrivens, but they lose it. Bates recovers. Chance to bring the three-quarters in. Kicked ahead by Sims. Smith can hack it on, keeps it in play. Hacked on again by Clough. This is dangerous, right in front of the post. Morgan falls. It's caught. Wasps need a good quick ball here. Don't get it with a loud blast. They do get a penalty. And Rob Andrew lands the penalty. And Wasps have come back from 7 points down, and now the deficit is only 1. Just 1 point in it then as Smith restarts. Brain taps back, taken in by Teague, driven on by Preedy to Dunn. This is Smith, up to the 22. Gloucester forwards again going forward. Hannaford, now will they run it wide? No, it's Mogg coming back to the forwards. Again they set it up, but a boot, and again they've lost possession, and it's a chance for Clough, to Sims, to Bailey, on the counter again, Wasps. Great counter, runs round Morgan, Morgan just gets him, he's got support from Clough. Teague can't take him down, Cassie can't get him, Clough's going all the way, what a score! A delighted home crowd have seen Wasps twice within a minute turn desperate defence into marvellous counter-attack. Wasps, that was where the boot went in, the loose ball. Andrew saw the chance. Clough, Sims, out to Bailey. Comes inside, then outside Morgan. Good tackle by Morgan, but they're up in support. Teague went too high, and Clough had the pace. Kasky couldn't make it with a tap. And that is a marvellous try. Good strike. Yes! Really rubs it in and turns as the referee's whistle goes at the end of a quite dramatic first half. Wasps lead by 19 points to 14. We'll pick up the action again a little way into the second half. Teague controls Hannaford again, works the narrow side, chips on, Morgan follows up, Pilgrim waits, takes it well as the full-back, supported there by Pegler. 5 metres out, the ball scurries out, just a couple of metres short of the line now. Can Gloucester win this? Hamlin has it. Looks for support from Teague, tries to burrow over himself, just a metre short now. Rolling it round Gloucester. There's Preedy on the dummy run. Just inching towards the line, but towards touch as well. Gloucester need to control it now. They go the other way through Teague. There's the ball. Hamlin. Mull again tries to burrow over. Again held up. Gloucester won't spread it wide. but Wasps have encroached, and this will be a penalty in front of the posts. The 3/4 were up. Now, the deficit is 5 points. Will Gloucester settle for 3? They will. Smith is going to kick to try and reduce the arrears to just 2 points. Should be simple. It is. Gloucester are right back in the match. Tim Smith, the first points of the second half. Ryan controls it at the back. They turn. Ryan picks up, gives it to Bates. Andrew. Sims. They miss out Clough. Pilgrim coming into the line at speed, but hacked on now by Hamlin. Morgan chases. Andrew has to turn, goes back inside his 22 and left-footed. Doesn't find touch. Kept in by Hamlin. Picked up by Hannaford. Hannaford driving on towards the 22. Keeps the ball alive. Hamlin picks up. Gets support from Brain. Gloucester back, try and smuggle it. Treaty has it now. Hannaford. Hamlin again, the up and under. Pilgrim in front of his own post. Doesn't take it cleanly, knocks it forward. Was Mogg impeded? And that's going to be a knock-on. And a scrum. The pressure eventually gets to Pilgrim. Centres it to the left. Where will Hannaford go? Will Teague pick up and go for the drive? They go again for the second shove. The Wasps pack holds. Now Hannaford gives it out to Hamlin. Going right, he's got Smith outside him. Smith to Morg. Morg is in! Gloucester go in front. We're into the last minute of the match, and that could be the score that will win this cup tie for Gloucester. Richard Morg. Teague gone for the drive, but eventually they came blind. Hannaford, here was Mogg coming from left to right. Smith got it away and Mogg was through. And up as he hooked it in, that's a superb kick. We are into injury time and Gloucester are 4 points in front. Wasps desperate to get on with it. It's Gadd. Hannaford. Hamlin will surely hit for touch, get it out of play anyhow. He's failed. Bailey keeps it in. Can Wasp out one last desperate counter-attack? This is Andrew. He's got Sims outside him. Sims. Smith. Sims cuts back inside. They're inside the 22. The forwards are there, they need to set it up. They've got to keep the ball alive. Bates is there, walking for it. Oh, he fumbles it, but he didn't knock it on. Andrew looks for the drop goal. Goes to Simmons. The whistle goes. And the referee's whistle goes for the end of the match. Gloucester, to the delight of their fans, have come from behind with just a couple of minutes remaining to steal this third-round cup tie by 23 points to 19.
Yeah, very good. I think it was a very good performance. Obviously near the end it could have gone either way, but we managed to sneak it right at the end.
Were you worrying that time was running out?
Yeah, I actually thought we'd lost the game, to be honest. When we had the scrum right on their line in the last few seconds, if we didn't score then obviously we'd have lost.
Well, obviously we fancied our chances against anybody, especially at home. But then, I mean, if you're going to win the cup, then obviously you've got to beat the best in the country. So that's what we were to do.
Club before country, because Gloucester have the best opportunity of overtaking Bath should the leaders falter in the home straight. Today, while Bath are at Nottingham, Gloucester entertain Harlequins, for whom the decision between club and country has apparently been, who hasn't played since England beat Wales 3 weeks ago, and Paul Ackford, who's at a wedding. Their places are taken by Alex Tupman and Richard Langhorne. The two England men who are on duty are Peter Winterbottom, next season's captain, and Mickey Skinner. Their battle with their England back row colleague Mike Teague should be a game in itself. Gloucester are without their free-scoring wing Derek Morgan, whose place is taken by Nick Price. Otherwise, they're at full strength. We join the match in the first half with the score 6-all, 2 penalties apiece. Your commentator, Nigel Starmer-Smith.
Six points apiece. Vital, just below top of the table clash. That's Chris Busher, returned from South Africa. John Brain trying to hold them at bay, but as it collapses, Quins get the penalty. And so a kickable chance here for David Pears with 3 minutes of the half to go. And that would give Quins the lead for the first time.
Keep it there.
220 points this season. David Pears, who's come down south from Sale very successfully. Chance of the lead then. It's beautifully struck. So they've taken the penalty chances, 3 out of 3, and David Pears caused some unsettling of the crowd here. We've seen some very good Gloucester build-up, but not yet the finishing. From Smith, Langhorne with the catch. And protection, I think, given against Harlequins for obstructing the intended tackler. So a chance straight from the restart. Up goes Langhorne. And I suppose it's Mullins there who took out John Brain on the left of the catch that was responsible for the penalty. Chance to level it then. Mike Hamlin from this left side of the field. Well, it's a worker, but it didn't swing back or stay high enough. David Thresher's kick is it's a clever, and it's a chance for Nick Price. Nick Price, in turn, well, looked as though he was going out on the full, but Everton Davis forced the player, just breezes in with the tackle. This is Stuart Thresher, then Langhorne, and touch finally on the far side. And exactly on the stroke of 40 minutes, the half-time whistle goes, and Harlequins turn round to face the wind, and I'm sure face the torrid efforts of Gloucester, but they lead 9 points to 6. Well, there's a man with plenty to think about over the next 7 days. Jeff Cook, the England team manager, watching expectantly, and of course, no doubt, trusting that no injury will befall his back row trio on duty today: Winterbottom, Skinner and Mike Teague. John Brain. Now Scrivens. Now Teague. Gadd on his elbow. Quite a sharp edge to that wedge. Mogg. Price in from the left. 10 metres out in front of the post. Set up again. Brain, Preedy, Hamlin. Checked by Older, but still got away. Langhorne in with the tackle, then Winterbottom. And he's gone over. It'll be a penalty in front of the post of Gloucester. Came right over. Hanover thinks about the quick one, but surely we'll leave it for the safe 3 points. So it's a searing driving run from Price, who's well tackled by Luxton. Then see how quick the forward support was in. The set up and feed. Hamlin not held by Olver, gets away again. And there's the infringement as Winterbottom came right over. Should make it 9-all. Tim Smith secures the 3 points. And 6.5 minutes gone, level pegging. So a 7-man pack on this put in for Gloucester, halfway line. Hannaford. Another good tactical kick. Thresher got too far ahead of it. Midfield, Harlequins 22. Hannaford, Fabrice to chase. Davis covers. Gadd back on the field. Neat little chip by Hannaford. Davis there, and you never quite know with the shape of the rugby ball which way it's going to bounce, but he was safe. Back from Skinner, Luxton, Pears from his 22. Sliced it, some way in field. Tim Smith slips, Breeze regathers. Player offside is Paul Curtis. Bit of back chat. So 10 metres, that might make all the difference here. Puts Tim Smith in line. John Olver asking for an explanation. Given short shrift. Tim Smith. It's a good kick. It's going to be close and over. 12-9, Gloucester go ahead. And 16.5 minutes gone of the second half. They recapture the lead. And Tim Smith with his 4th successful penalty, now over 200 points for the season. And I sense that the referee he's had some muscular trouble, George Seddon, and is about to be replaced, by the look of it, by Jeff Morris. Jeff Morris of the Gloucester Society, running the touch on the far side, is going to be taking over from George Seddon. He hasn't just thrown the towel in, I can assure you. Short line, Luxton. Penalty to Gloucester. Players again coming in to join from the wrong side. Individual grandstand viewpoint across the road. Looking down then on a chance for Gloucester to make it a lead of 6 points for the first time in the match. Tim Smith. Well struck. Tremendous kicking performance by Tim Smith. All he's missed is one long drop goal attempt, but on the penalty count, it's 5 out of 5. Hannaford to Hamlin. This move straight through to replacement Gardner. Tim Smith to Nick Price. Price away. Great tackle back by Thresher, the fullback. And this time Gloucester really stretching Harlequins well as Nick Price cut back through inside. Beats the first tackle off. And the 32-year-old really showing tremendous pace and some incisive ability. See how he tucks the ball, set sail for the post, but the cover tackle is very good from Stuart Thresher. And Price here, having been tackled, then plays the ball again, so giving away the position with the penalty. Mike Teague. John Gadd. Hannaford probing well. Ian Smith. Good link from Dunn. Mark, chance here. Tim Smith Tim Breeze on the wide outside, into the corner, try given. No, the touch judge has the flag up. Well, lovely sweeping movement here, and into the corner it goes. Looked like a try to me. But the touch judge had his flag up. Possession for Gloucester still, they might get one back even so, not given. So we can see the closing moments as Breeze goes for the corner, and I think he gets the ball down before he's bundled out. Yes, I think mighty close, but I would have perhaps given the benefit of the doubt. But if the doubt is sufficient, the touch judge will give the line out, which he did. Hannaford, Hamlin, dummy scissors not bought by, just the dummy not bought by Skinner. 5 metres out. Still the Cherry and Whites in possession, driving forwards, urged on by the crowd. They break through and get it now. Kevin Dunn at the bottom there, and Malcolm Preedy together. So the reward was there in the end, and the satisfaction of a great forward effort, and what should be the critical score of the game with about 9 minutes to go. Kevin Dunn and Malcolm Preedy rolling off as the pack surge to the line, swing it round, and there you can see both in possession, joint effort. You can choose Preedy or Dunn. Justice done then, and the conversion attempt to come. Tim Smith. Clear 10-point lead already. No problem with that either. And that should be enough to see Gloucester home. It's a good drop out. Langhorne couldn't hold, and Brain did. Langhorne nearly bit of aerial ballet. Hannaford on the charge is Ian Smith. Tackle was high by Loxton. A difficult one really, as the player was ducking down, but a penalty for the tackle that was round the neck. 6 successful kicks at goal out of 6. Key part in Gloucester's armoury. Tim Smith to set the seal on it, which he does. Superb display of goal kicking. $20 points for Tim Smith to add to the try by Kevin Dunn stroke Malcolm Preedy. Skinner down. Lost the ball. Hannaford recovers it. Hamlin. Richard Mogg on the loop round Gardner. And again, the temptation to go a little high on the tackles, but no offence committed. Worked back well by Brain. This is Hannaford. Hamlin outside. Gardner. Good tackle by Thresher. Touch deep in the 22. We move into injury time now, and Gloucester then in sight of a victory that will certainly keep pressure on Bath at the top of Division 1. Two games left after this. Orrell at home, Nottingham away for Gloucester. And of course they're semi-finalists in the Pilkington Cup as well. So all to play for still, and still they come again. Through Scrivens, just short of the line. Possession to Hamlin, must be an overlap, but he's gone inside to Preedy. He had a 3-man overlap on the outside, the whistle's already gone. Well, he obviously didn't look to the right because they couldn't have failed to score there, and he had to catch the ball and stroll over. But in the end, at 24 points to 9, they'll not worry unduly. It won't have been a crucial loss. Skinner runs, the man who started out with Bladen, and Luxton gets away. Good running from Thresher, the full-back. It's a long way, that's the halfway line. Inside is Molyneux, but the cover's good. And indeed, that was the final flourish by Harlequins as Gloucester continue their winning ways to win 24 points to 9, and so keep their Courage League Division 1 chances still very much to the fore, keeps the pressure on Bath, and as well, of course, still in the hunt on the cup front too, and deserving victory, 24 points to 9.
Bath.
So perfect conditions, capacity crowd, a great West Country contingent, and the scene set for a great cup semi-final as Northampton move into uncharted territory and start through Big Peter Moss. Bit of a breeze gusting Northampton's way in this first half. Colin Hyde quickly away with the dropout. The referee, Tim Rodber, hero of the Northampton club, and a great England prospect. This is Hamlin under pressure. Gets it to Caskey. Ben Ward back there. And special cheers on that far side, because that's where most of the visiting supporters are, the Gloucester lads. And Northampton throw in, and calling for the shortened line, Colin Hall and Tim Rodber there at the back, 20-year-old. And it's Rodber, palms it down, taken by Pearce, the captain. Great driving run from him. Skipper's example. Setting off at a furious tempo, Ian Smith for Gloucester. Whistle's already gone from Colin Hyde for the knock-on. Perhaps the most potent threat to the Saints is this harmonious Gloucester forward unit. Rugged, powerful, very good on the drive from Hannaford. Oh. Scrum halves at war. Off goes Teague. It's a good tackle. And playing the ball after the tackle. And quickly taken by Northampton. Big second row forward, Colin Hall setting it up. Flipped away by Alston. And still disappointed with his kick, but there's a penalty. Colin Hall is the injured player. Set up that very good ball for Northampton with the driving run, but looks to have injured a shoulder here. The first chance of points then falling to John Steele. Can he set Northampton on their way? Bit of wind behind him. Struck well. Good kick. That's just the lift Northampton needed against the first division leaders. 3-0, 6.5 minutes played. Coming down with the throw. Back from Teague, round comes Preedy. Couldn't really quite get the feed in, and it's picked up by Pask. But stolen in turn by John Gadd. Gloucester back in possession. To Hamlin. The chip through, and just eluding the challenge of Jim Breeze. At the back is Teague. Can he get the downward pressure over the line? It's there for Hannaford. The Northampton players roll over the top, and they are denied by Gloucester. And it's Gloucester's put in. Teague holds, dummy run. Second surge. And Teague still has it at his feet over the line. Try given. The power told. And that was always going to be the most significant threat to Northampton. So Gloucester take the lead with this tremendous momentum, and Teague claiming it. Rugby, again useful. Hall on the peel. Northampton have it. Gloucester perilously close to offside, and indeed are that. I think it was Scriven who eventually got round the wrong way. So here's a chance for Steele to recapture the lead. Breeze behind John Steele for this kick. No mistake. 6-4, the Northampton roar goes up. Preedy sets it up. Hannaford back to his pack. Preedy again. Now from Brain. Hamlin. That's a tester. Not quite enough forward momentum. Falls to Rodber. But it's quickly stolen back by Gloucester's scavenging hands. First knock on. All the pace and fury that you'd expect of the leaders of the second division in the leagues against the leaders of the first division in a cup semi-final. Smith setting it back. Brain. The wedge forming just outside the Northampton 22 as Teague breaks off. Back to Kevin Dunn. Hamlin, could be an overlap here. Kasky, Richard Mogg, Tim Smith, Morgan outside in the corner. Yes. Very well executed try. Derek Morgan back after injury. And it was Kevin Dunn who provided the initial link. Then you could see already the backs were poised to create the overlap. It just needed the stick handing that they provided, with the sensibly timed final pass from Tim Smith to put Morgan away with just enough room to get home in the corner. So again, it was the good forward work, the challenge of Teague, who took out two Northampton defenders, then the switch back from Hannaford to Dunn, and then orthodox. The added bit of pace was important from Kasky in the middle, and with the full-back as the extra man in the line, nothing really that Ben Ward could do. Hannaford. Hamlin under pressure. Packman responds to the call. Hunter now. Oh, carves up the opening, but the tackle was excellent. But he's broken clear again. That looked high, but he's going for the line and he's made it. Ian Hunter, what a solo effort. Who'd have thought it had got there? It looked as though he'd been stopped in his tracks with a great tackle, but somehow he was back on his feet and has now restored the lead to the Saints. It was a great response to the call to the open side that Hunter initiated after Packman had been tempted to stay right, but the fullback comes in. And watch here, because I thought that was the end of the move with the tackle from Ian Smith, but he's back, slipping the tackle, bursts yet another one, sidesteps inside. That could have been a penalty anyway. The referee sensibly played advantage and he was home. A sensational score. 10 points to 8 as we move into injury time at the end of this first half. Steele's conversion through the posts. Well, how to take a chance, the young student Ian Hunter here. That would have been a penalty, but no matter. On he drove, powerful, determined, and look at the reach of the outstretched arm. Five minutes into the second half. Hamlin. Ben Ward, oh dear, misjudged. Mogg is there. Advantage being played from the knock-on. Hannaford up the narrow side. And now a full penalty with Northampton over the top. And Hamlin to the boos and jeers of the home crowd, opting to call up Tim Smith to try again. He's missed 2 conversion attempts and a penalty goal. So Ian Hunter watching anxiously now from the bench as his opposite number Tim Smith has a chance to put Gloucester within a point. This to make it 12-11. That time he's on target. So, superbly poised now. 1 point in it, 7 minutes in the second half. Northampton 12-11 in the lead. Trying to find Rugby, but it's good work by Hall for Northampton. Gary Pearce nicely slipped through to Alston. On goes Ward. Touch given. Down in front of the packed Northampton crowd. Hannaford in trouble. Through goes Franklin. Rolls over it well to make it available. Northampton possession. On goes Dyte. Right on the Gloucester line. Denied. This was mighty close. Good work here by the hooker Franklin. See how he gets himself over to make it available to the support. And then it's Dyte, the second row, held just short. Duncan Franklin, local builder. His throw. And coolly done by Hamlin. Hot Mogg to Kasky. Tim Smith racing up the full-back. Jim Breeze outside. Ebsworth turns tail to chase. Ben Ward beaten to it. The bounce. Tricky, but it's still Smith. Now it's Ian Smith. Back inside to Kasky. 10 metres out is Mike Teague. Ben Ward lies injured far across the field. Mogg again, trying to wrestle his way through. It's Morgan setting it up to the pack. 2-3 metres only from the Northampton line. Finally the whistle. Great Gloucester counter-attack there, and inspired by the fly half Mike Hamlin. And again the good running of Tim Smith, the full-back, who was in the move 2-3 times, I think. Ebsworth having to turn, and then some crazy bounces of the ball made life even more uncomfortable, Northampton. Cross again, and then Ian Smith on the wide outside, back inside to Tim Smith, and finally denied. What a thriller of a cup tie this has turned out to be. All the expectations realised. It's 12-11 as we come to the last quarter. 12-11 to the home team, the second division champions elect, but it's a penalty against the forwards. And I think Rosberg may have been trying to work it back with his hand in the ruck. Outstanding performance from this 6'5" second lieutenant in the army, but not quite so clever on that occasion to concede the penalty and the chance for Tim Smith. He struck it well. The crowd cheer on the far side and roar it home. It's 14-12 and Gloucester recapture the lead. They last held midway through the first half. And we've about 19 minutes to go. John Brain and Mike Teague, no-nonsense players. Hannaford and Smith won't welcome that possession of the ball. Rodber through first. Still they fight. Northampton chance on here. Moss. Off goes Tame to Packman. Packman against Smith. The kick and chase. Inside the Gloucester 22. The ball's still in Northampton hands. 10 metres out. Desperation defence. Preedy's the kicker. And Northampton aren't beaten yet. So a couple of bumps and bruises. Hannaford recaptures his breath, but the try-scoring moment saved, and how nearly Northampton came on the breakout here from deep inside their own 22. Then Tame takes it on, and Packman here with Smith to beat. Might have been tempted to challenge him for sheer pace. And eventually denied. Don Caskey goes off, and he's going to be replaced by Damien Cummins. Preedy, penalty to Gloucester, pushing in the line out. And this time no doubting the decision of Mike Hamlin as he calls up Tim Smith. And Northampton retreat to face. Courteous, polite, hushed crowd. The roar goes up, the kick goes over. So it stretches to a 5-point margin. That's the biggest margin of the game thus far. Steele, mismove, Ebsworth little chip for Packman. Certainly was taken out with that possession, but didn't really affect the play. Referee already looking at his watch. Stirring performance by both sides here. And Northampton have given their all. It wasn't enough. And number 8, indeed. Tim Rodber, one of the stars of the piece, just stands dejectedly. So close came Northampton in their best ever cup run. They end with glory but not the victory. And in an excellent contest, it is the visitors Gloucester who take the spoils and set themselves on target still for the league and cup double.
Supremacy against Orrell, with Kimmins and Kusani providing the visitors with plenty of line-out ball. But untidy Orrell possession gave Gloucester the opportunity of opening the scoring. Left wing Nick Price set up the second phase. Preedy played scrum half. And after Mike Teague had burst through, flanker Ian Smith was at his elbow to take the scoring pass. Tim Smith added the conversion to give Gloucester a 6-0 lead. More driving work from the Gloucester forwards, this time led by Scrivens. And although Ian Smith dropped the pass, referee Fred Howard had spotted the Orrell three-quarters offside. Gloucester skipper Mike Hamlin thought about running the penalty, but decided to call up his fullback. And Tim Smith landed the kick to put the home side 9 points in front. But any thoughts Gloucester had of coasting to victory were rudely shattered shortly before half-time. Taberner's kick ahead, gathered by Heslop. Ainscough up in support. And although Kimmins was tackled just short of the line, hooker Neil Hitchin burrowed over for the try. Fly half Martin Strett, adding the conversion. (9-6) to Gloucester at half-time, and there was a further shock for the home supporters shortly after the restart. Ainscoe's up and under. Missed by Morgan. And using the narrow side, Strett strong enough to hold off Mike Teague's tackle. Strett couldn't, though, add the conversion. With Orrell just 1 point in front, tempers on both sides began to fray, before Gloucester put together their most sustained attacking period of the match. After the initial drive, Hannaford went straight. Priddy again acting scrum half. Ian Smith released Morgan on the right wing. Support from Mogg. Teague again in evidence as the Gloucester forwards drove forward and gave Hannaford the chance to release his three-quarters once again. Morgan appeared in the centre, Smith flipped on his pass, and it was Nick Price crossing in the corner. Gloucester back in front then, and after Strett had missed an easy penalty to level the scores, Orrell were penalised for pulling down a maul. And it was Tim Smith who kicked the penalty to make the final score Gloucester 16, Orrell 10.
Their quest for the first part of the double, the league. Nottingham are probably playing their best rugby of the season at the moment, and they're at full strength, with their 4 internationals, Simon Hodgkinson, Brian Moore, Gary Rees and Chris Gray included in the lineup. Gloucester too field their strongest 15, but have the additional strain of the prizes beckoning. Tim Smith has proved a consistent source of comfort both as a fullback and a goal kicker, but once again the Gloucester pack, in which the support play of their back row Gadd, Smith and Teague has been outstanding, will doubtless play a big part. Your commentator is Nigel Starmer-Smith.
What a finale to the Courage League season. Referee, international calibre, Roger Quittenton. Gloucester, the Cherry and Whites, and backed by a very vociferous band of supporters, set the game in motion, and all to play for. Well, sign of early nerves there, Steve Hackney, and problems right on their own line as Matt Greenwood is held in the tackle, and the put in at the scrum, happily for Gloucester, goes to them. Well, it's akin to a cup tie final, and this a full stadium at Ireland Avenue. Marcus Hannaford, free kick, lowering, tap penalty called and quickly taken, done for Gloucester. Buried a couple of metres out. Hannaford, Hamlin, could be something on here, but into touch as Ian Smith tried to flip it on. And an early siege on the Nottingham line. That was the crucial moment when it just was impossible for Ian Smith to steer it safely. Good short throw that to Scrivens. Hannaford, Gadd, tackling solid. pass from Gary Rees. Gloucester working it. John Gadd rolling it. Set back now. Hannaford sees a gap. Lovely dummy. Looks for support. Not quite close enough. Climbing over. Go Gloucester. Lovely bit of touch play there from Hannaford. Confident enough to look for the gap. Took it well. And then waited for a bit of support. This was beautifully taken. There's that lovely dummy that looked to possibly open the way to the try line, but you can see the forwards with just that fraction of a second behind him. Didn't anticipate him quite. Nottingham aside, remember, who really were responsible for disposing of Bath's challenge to retain their league title by beating them earlier in the season. Good pass from Gabriel to Sutton. Mismove in the centre. Trying to find Hodgkinson, it breaks down, and Derek Morgan's away. Clifton Jones covering, Morgan still. Cover in from the scrum half, taken by Hannaford. Beautiful bit of handling from him. He's firing on all cylinders, still come Gloucester. Pass to Hamlin, doesn't go to hand, and Clifton Jones runs it out, non-stop. Two-man for Gloucester. Second row pairing, Scrivens and Brain. Cook contesting at the back. Glyn Mosses setting it up. Cook, nice half-volley pick-up from Sutton. Tim Smith, awkward bounce. Hodgkinson's there, inside his 22, sends Smith the wrong way. But the referee has penalised Chris Gray, in fact, for running off the intended tackler. Referee Quinton right there, and clearly feeling that Chris Gray's obstruction was a penalty offence. So a chance to break the stalemate. Tim Smith, who's notched up 254 points in all matches, 249 in first-class rugby this season. More importantly, chance of the lead. It's close. Off the upright, twice, off the other upright and over. My word, is this to be Gloucester's lucky day? That was quite remarkable. It looked to be initially curling beyond the left upright, but as you'll see, it strikes it, and with that ovoid shade ball, it just caught it at the right angle, across to the other upright and over. The fates were with them, and Tim Smith gives Gloucester the lead after 18 minutes. Gloucester's 10-metre line. Quarter of the match played. Gloucester, a penalty goal to nil in the lead. Teague at the back, bit of argy-bargy in the line-out. And it's Gloucester who are guilty. This time I think Chris Gray will give Hodgkinson the kick at goal. It's on the 10-metre line. There's the breeze to contend with, but well within his compass. Time and care as Teague waits. An equalising chance here then for Hodgkinson. Outstanding in his goal kicking for England. And 293 points in all first-class matches this season. Fourth in the country. Hodgkinson to level it if he gets it. It's a worker. Oh, what about that? One of those low, scrabbling, untidy-looking kicks, but it had the weight, and it just crept over the crossbar, and it's 3 points apiece. Consultation. What a crowd noise. Make the signals sometimes difficult to hear. Kevin Dunn. Brain, Preedy, waiting for it. shot it back a bit too quickly. Greenwood steals it. Greenwood, 10 metres out. Brian Moore goes for the corner. Tries to take Hannaford with him. Nottingham have it again. Sutton, Potter. Tremendous tackle by Caskey. Yeah, that was typical of the little Scotsman. Really one of the most potent midfield defenders. And really put pay to Nottingham's attack then. Hannaford, Hamlin deep, hooked it a bit. Cushion Mike Hamlin started out with Coney Hill, a few games for Cheltenham, and now an England B international. Pushing in the line-out. Penalty to Nottingham. And Hodgkinson's easiest chance yet. Still anxious, Gloucester, and now facing the prospect of going behind for the first time. Again, the talk in with the pack as they await Hodgkinson's effort. It's close, but he's missed it. Could so easily happen when the pressure's on, but normally so dependable, as we've seen in the International Championship, but that will be bitter disappointment. And how dearly will that cost Nottingham at the end of the day? Tim Smith. So, a let off for Gloucester. Recharge their efforts. Hannaford. Support from Brain. Gloucester pack still in control. Hannaford, Hamlin. And run across for Hodgkinson. Free ball for Gloucester here. Jim Breeze takes them on. But one too many. Matt Greenwood finally. But the support is there from the pack. Good work from Kevin Dunn, who snatched it off the deck. Away by Hannaford, Hamlin, Caskey, Mogg. Tremendous pressure from Clifton Jones. Morgan now confronted by Potter. Clifton Jones again. This is Gabriel on the break. Gabriel against Hamlin. Just short of the line, tried to find the support player. It's there. The try given. Chris Gray. And believe it or not, his first try of the season for Nottingham. And what a time to choose to score it. So it all broke down as Nottingham's back division again put tremendous pressure on Gloucester. This was Gabriel on the break. Good cover tackle from Hamlin, the ball loose inside. Gloucester not controlling, but Chris Gray did. Clifton Jones was the link man. Gabriel's part here was crucial, of course. Hamlin looked to have the man covered and did with the tackle, a great handoff, but that wasn't sufficiently enveloping to keep him from getting the pass away. And as Caskey failed to gather, it fell to the Nottingham skipper. Knowing Hodgkinson, the harder they are, the more often he seems to convert them. This from wide out then. Super kick. Somehow perhaps the pressure isn't so great when you're not expected to kick them from the touchline, and that may help the cause of the kicker. And that's thrown the gauntlet down to the would-be champions. They trail by 6 points, and we've played 13 minutes of the second half. Teague holds Hannaford. Smith. A bit of a dust-up going on off the ball with Rees and Hannaford, but possession for Gloucester's here. Hamlin trying to dart in himself to the pack now. Kevin Dunn burrowing right to the line, but held up just short. Referee steps in quickly for a Gloucester put into the scrum. And the pack will relish this opportunity. Well, Kevin Dunn got mighty close here. Tried to just duck underneath, and that close, you can see how near he was to the line. Crucial moments of the game here, the outcome of this scrummage. Hannaford away, Hamlin, dummy. Tim Smith slipped it on, but the pass didn't find Morgan cleanly. Smith did what he had to do, which was risk the quick tap through. The give and take in one movement, and it was almost a matter of luck as to whether or not it was a serviceable pass. There's the dummy by Hamlin. That was Smith. I mean, it was a brave effort, and Morgan maybe should have held back just a little more. Apprehension and natural enough concern, because there's less than 7 minutes for Gloucester to do something about it. They're 9-3 behind. They know a draw won't be good enough unless Wasps to lose, and again Nottingham with some tantalising high kicks put Gloucester under pressure and earn the penalty as the ball is not released by Derek Morgan after the tackle. Chris Gray takes the time and then points to the goalpost for Hodgkinson to attempt the penalty goal. Gently strokes it, and through the posts it goes. 12 points to 3, 5 minutes to go. It's looking bleak, to say the least, for Gloucester now. We're into the last minute. Looks like a forlorn hope now. 12-3 for Gloucester to come back to. They're 9 points adrift. Hamlin, Mogg. So attempt to spin it, but the defensive effort by Nottingham has really been an outstanding characteristic of this game. Handed in the ruck. Penalty to Gloucester, they've got to run it. We move into injury time. Brain slips it over to Smith. Hamlin, good handoff. Kasky. Mogg trying to make something out of very little. And booted through by Gary Hartley. Hartley and Morgan give chase. Hannaford to Hamlin, to Mogg, Kasky. Clean break through the middle, looks for support. Mike Teague, they're looking for a speed man. There was Dunn on the outside, but Gary Rees is there to cover and hammers it away. As the final whistle goes, and Nottingham have done it again in denying a league champion-elect. First it was Bath, today it was Gloucester, beaten in the end with something to spare after Gloucester had looked to be so dominant early on, but they couldn't turn that possession into points. They couldn't break down the Nottingham defence, and Nottingham hung in there, and Chris Gray with his first try of the season turned the game, and Hodgkinson added to it a 12 points to 3 victory. And for Gloucester, all they know now is that they must hope for Saracens to cause the upset and beat Wasps. If not, their championship league title hopes have gone by the wayside.
Well, not a bad way to bow out from your club, Brian.
No, certainly not. 9 happy years, and we started with a loss against Moseley a long time ago when Nick Jevons played, and I'm very pleased to win against Gloucester.
Same day Simon played his first game.
Exactly, yes. He'll go on to get a few more Nottingham caps and so on, but I thought we deserved today's win. I thought we played with a lot of commitment, and I thought that Gloucester were caught napping, really.
Well, they certainly couldn't find a way through, could they?
No, I mean, there was a crucial 20-minute first period where they battered our line. In the cup game, they scored 2 tries, but this time they didn't get a point, so I think the luck of the gods is with Tim Smith kicking that direction, you know, first a drop goal and then hitting both posts and the crossbar. But in the end, thoroughly deserved, I think.
And gradually, of course, I mean, you're more than holding your own in the scrummage.
Oh yeah, that was a nice feeling, actually. Very few times do you go forward against a Gloucester scrum, and today we took a couple against the head, unfortunately. I thought Roger let him get away with a deliberate wheel on our line, but yes, very, very powerful.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. I think I made a mistake in the commentary because the rule doesn't come into next season.
There's nothing new, is there, Nigel? Tell you.
Thank you very much.
They go very quick, but 35 pounds, sold the same way. PW at £35.
A Monday morning in Gloucester, market day, and it's one of the busiest markets in the country, with produce and livestock being brought in from the surrounding areas. And much of the talk this morning is about Gloucester's chances of winning the cup final at Twickenham against their great rivals Bath on Saturday. Behind the sheep pens there's the fruit and vegetable market, where you'll find one of the club's most devoted servants. He's been club secretary for most of the last 26 years, and for Terry Tandy this has surely been one of the most exhilarating periods.
Oh yes, it is. We get a wonderful following. We've been away to every game this year, and we've taken, apart from Gosforth, which was a very long journey, we've taken about 15 coaches from the club to every game.
Now tell me, because you were involved in the last final in 82, what's the difference in interest?
Again, an amazing difference. In 82 we handled and sold about 5,000 tickets, which at that time we thought was very good. This time it's been 3 times that, on 15,000.
A regular attender at King's Home and one of the club's great characters is Digger Morris, now 78 years old, who first played for Gloucester 60 years ago.
Oh, was it? They come round for me on a Friday night. I wasn't selected for the first side, but I was reserved to turn out against Northampton at Northampton.
Good game, was it?
A very good game. It bumps Carpenter, the best hooker Gloucester ever had. Very enjoyable game.
Now, they also talk a lot in this town about a certain tackle you managed on Prince Obolensky. Tell me about that.
Well, Prince Obolensky scored some good tries for England going across the pitch, one side back to the other. My shoelace was undone, and Fred Waddy, the captain, said, when you're out the game, come up the centre of the field. And bad luck for Prince Obolensky, I was there to catch him with the right hook.
End of Prince Obolensky.
End of Prince Obolensky. Carried off, yes.
You can't go far in Gloucester without seeing rugby posts sprouting at all angles, and there's no doubt that the game plays a major part in Gloucester life.
Yeah, we've got a strong combination called the North Gloucester combination, play in and around the Gloucester city. And there's about 35 clubs in that combination, and this is the Spartans Club. It's a famous cup fighting outfit. They're famous for the Falk brothers, and in fact Mike Teague's uncle Colin, who's a prop who played with me, he's the president, and the current Gloucester hooker and England B hooker Kevin Dunn was produced by this club as well.
And this is all part of Gloucester's strength?
I think so, because they only run 2 teams, the first team and the second team, and all the players are drawn from local rugby.
And can Gloucester do it?
I think it's going to be a very difficult match for Gloucester, because Bath have so much class behind the scrummage. Guscott, Halliday, players that can turn a game on a sixpence. And normally, if you look at the way Gloucester play, we've got a big productive pack, 2 centres that can tackle, and a fullback that can kick goals. Now, they've got a big productive pack. They've got a goal kicker in Barnes, and they've got 2 world-class centres. I think myself it would be a very difficult game for Gloucester to win. But if I was going to play anyone as an underdog, I think I'd rather not play against Gloucester than play against them, because they're the sort of team that can scrabble victories when they're not playing well. And I think Bath will be looking over their shoulder, knowing they've got all that talent and all that skill, and knowing that Gloucester's just that one team that could scrabble a victory out of nothing.
They'll also know, Mike, that it just won't be worth coming back here if they lose.
Oh, what? They'll have to apply for visas. And it's very similar, you know. I heard that when Max Boyson got back to Wales after losing 34 points to England, he was so depressed that he rung Samaritans, and he said, "Do you know what, Berto?" He said, "They gone extra extra." So I had to laugh at that. That's what will happen, I think, if Gloucester lose on Saturday.
They're building for the future at Kingsholm, both on and off the field, with a workforce which includes the Gloucester skipper, Mike Hamlin, who's convinced about the turning point in the club's successful cup run.
I think obviously the last-minute try against Wasps in the third round of the cup up there, we were struggling a little bit up till then, and we got a scrum about 5 yards from their line, and we moved it blind, and Richard Mogg snuck over in the corner.
The Wasps pack holds. Now Hannaford gives it out to Hamlin. Going right, he's got Smith outside him. Smith to Mogg. Mogg is in! Gloucester go in front. We're into the last minute of the match, and that could be the score that will win this cup tie for Gloucester. Richard Mogg.
And you've also, of course, put it over against Bath in the league, which was an important psychological blow, I would have thought, isn't it?
Yes, especially for us, because we knew somebody had to beat them to have a chance of winning the league, and in the early part of the season we beat them out here, which was a big thrill for the side.
Now I'm told there's just a chance that that big fellow will be in Gloucester's front row at Twickenham. So these are some of the sights, sounds and smells of Gloucester on market day. Follow me now down the road and we'll see what's happening at Bath. Simon, it's on days like these that you realise it must be very annoying for you Bath guys to ever play away from home. This is idyllic, isn't it?
It's absolutely lovely, yes. It's nice to get out of the office, actually, because I spend most of my day inside, but it's really beautiful.
But this, again, is all part now of the rugby club's involvement with the town, because you are very much a part of Bath.
Oh, very much so. As Gareth Chilcott always says, we're one big family down here, and everyone either works in the town or nearby, and are very much part of the club, yes.
Now, you've been with the club getting on for 10 years. This is going to be your final game next week. How would you describe your time at Bath?
Well, when I first arrived at Bath, we had some good backs, John Horton, David Trick, Charlie Ralston, John Palmer. Not many forwards. And I think the way things have changed over the last few years is that a balance has developed between the two. And we've been able to hold our own up front, and even better than that, and then ally that with back play. But as far as I would say, that major progress has been made in the way that we approach the game together and prepare, as probably no other side does.
Are you still getting as much enjoyment now as you did in those early days?
Oh, I think so, because in the early days there wasn't that much pressure, and that was enjoyable, certainly, but now we've got the pressure. If you can continue to do well under that, then you've got a bonus.
Now, looking back, you've been, I think, in 4 final appearances. What's your outstanding memory of those finals?
I think the best game probably was Bath Wasps, the most recent one, which we won, I think, 1912. It's a very good game, very open. Probably our best achievement was to come back from 13-0 down the year before, although not in the most attractive fashion, perhaps. Everyone's got their own memory, and of course, if you win your finals, then they become an abiding memory.
It's there for Hill. Dummies to Barnes. Halliday straight through. Yes!
Can we look forward, do you think, to a reasonably open and attractive final?
I would have wished every final to be open and attractive. It can't always be that way, but a pointer may come if you look at our last few games. The backs have scored a lot of tries. We've run it very effectively without ignoring the needs of the forwards to come into play. I mean, if you ask our forwards, they all want to have the ball in their hands. So if all 15 want to play that way, I think that's the way we should play.
Next week, it's the Pilkington Cup final at Twickenham. Second half live on Grandstand, and highlights of both the English and Welsh Cup finals on Rugby Special, plus a look back at the season's highs and lows, disappointments and triumphs. Join us again then.
So Bath, the favourites. We'll see the second half live. Let's pick up the start of the match now with our commentary team, Bill Beaumont and Nigel Starmer-Smith.
Bath with their host of internationals, 11 in all, 10 Englishmen, 1 Scot. Hard to detect a weak link there. 5 finals, 5 wins in the last 6 years. Stuart Barnes and Richard Hill to call the shots. Halliday, Guscott outside to electrify. And perhaps a final appearance ever for Simon Halliday. Here at Gloucester, the main task to raise the side's effort after the disappointment of narrowly losing last week, but spearheaded in the pack by Mike Teague, resolute defence midfield, and of course the experience of such as Richard Mogg, who played in both last 2 cup finals, 78 and 82. Stuart Barnes to start, and what an atmosphere here. Packed to the rooftops here at Twickenham. Tim Smith. Not held by Kevin Withy. Pressure on Callard again. "11 minutes gone, and this game building up into the grand finale we'd all hope for.
We're interested to see the work of John Gadd and Mike Teague in the line-out on Damien Cronin, because certainly they're closing him down in the line-out, so not giving him a clean jump.
But it's Kevin Withy who gets away. Withy still with the great handoff. Hamlin in with the tackle, and he's beaten that one as well. It's just fullback Tim Smith. Withy all the way. That's a tremendous score by the Bath newcomer. Kevin Withy, well, he'll have dreamed of moments like that. This is his first final for the 28-year-old who's come in place of John Hall, and what a break.
You see the untidy ball here, and Gloucester have got a couple of opportunities to tackle him here. There's weak tackles coming in there, and really Hamlin should have put him down. But Withy, one of the ensuing heroes of the Bath team, he probably wouldn't have been playing if John Hall hadn't have been suspended. Crashed it over for a good try.
Well, remarkable how he gets away first from that lineup, then from the first tackle. Here's the next one, and that was Morgan. There's Hamlin in here. Still Withy keeps going. Dummies to the inside. There's only Tim Smith left, and the 28-year-old, who was one of the surprise decisions or controversial choices perhaps from some to get into the side, has really justified his presence in the most superb way. So 12 minutes gone, 4-0 to Bath. Some kick from Stuart Barnes from the touchline. After 13 minutes, then Kevin Withy, who started out at Beecham Cliff School, same school in fact that John Hall attended, and then Oldfield Old Boys, and now his first time at Twickenham. What a way to celebrate. Hannaford, Hamlin. A slow movement of the ball to the fly half, and not released in the tackle. It's a penalty, head on to the post for Bath, and this looks like a chance here for Stuart Barnes.
And probably not the best decision Mike Hamlin's made of the season, running straight into Andy Robinson. But you see why Gloucester are penalised here, that the Bath players keep on their feet all the time while they drive into it, and yet you see the Gloucester players on the ground and concede the penalty.
So just short of the Gloucester 10-metre line. 6-0 they lead. Stuart Barnes. Big thump. Spot on. Quarter of an hour gone, and Barnes has lifted it to 9-0. Scrivens marking Redmond. Well taken by Hill. Barnes, Halliday, Guscott looks for the gap and clean through it. He's got Swift outside to run it in, surely. Inside 1-2, back to Guscott, and over. What a try. Oh, that was a gem. Jerry Guscott, who really has marked this season as his own.
Again, good ball. Just look how quickly Richard Hill gets it away. But when Simon Halliday gets the ball, he dummies inside to Andy Robertson, and that gives Jerry Guscott the extra pace. And really it looked as though Tony Swift was going to score, but good cover here by Gloucester. But again, Swift keeps the ball available inside, and there's no stopping Guscott from that sort of yardage. Great try by Bath.
Well, we've seen 7 tries in his first 6 internationals, and that just was another stamp of his class. His 76th try for Bath to take them 13-0. Barnes' conversion rounds it off to 15-0 after 28 minutes. Well, the sort of quality rugby that we'd hope to see on the big occasion like this. There was the lovely dummy play by Halliday that really set it up for Guscott. It gave him that chink of light, which he exploited to the full. The pass wasn't so clever, but Swift hung on to it, kept his head, and the support was there. Kevin Dunn. Time Teague. Hannaford to Hamlin standing deep. Won't find touch. Callard is there on the halfway. Now it's his opposite number. Tim Smith in trouble. Callard follows through. If he doesn't score, it might be a penalty try, but he gets there anyway. Jonathan Callard, like Kevin Withey, celebrating a first final appearance. Then the 24-year-old made it from very little.
It was a mistake by Mike Hamlin that gave Callard the chance to put this ball back, and the unfortunate Tim Smith there drops it. Callard following up. Really, Fred Howard could well have given a penalty try there, but he allows the advantage to go on, and Callard celebrates his first appearance here with a try.
And Bath begin to run away now with a 19-point lead to 0 after just 33 minutes, and this was unfortunate for Gloucester, but enterprise and initiative and commitment from Callard, who has earned his place, keeps out Jonathan Webb, who's on the bench, the England fullback, and Audley Lumsden, who's recovering from injury. And as the players take fluid, Barnes goes for the conversion off the post. But it really matters little at this stage. That's 3 tries in the bag, 19-0, and Bath rampant. Robinson, Edgerton, taken off him by Gadd. Tries to find his backs, but scooped up in the end by Kasky. Hamlin to Breeze. Tackling solid. Gloucester lifting it a bit, as they must. Hamlin now, chance on here, if they can use it well. This is Mogg. This is Smith in the line. Checks inside, still has the man outside. That's Morgan. Hill was across with the tackle, but Gloucester not down and out yet. Well, a score before half-time could do them untold good. They come again, Ian Smith. Gloucester raising it, the crowd lift them. We're in injury time. Advantage, I think, for offside. This is Tim Smith. But the pass goes to Tony Swift. Swift could run clear here. Back comes Breeze, but Swift spins his ears back, and he's going to get away. Tony Swift, what a run, the whole way. A moment to savour for a lifetime for Tony Swift, who's run himself into the ground. Once he decided to go, he went.
Yes, once he stepped inside the cover, there was no stopping here. You see Jim Breeze trying to close him down, but Swift has always got a couple of yards on him. and Gloucester, they must be wondering what's happened to them, because they had Bath on the rack there for a couple of minutes, but when things are going against you, and here is the interception, it looks as though they had an overlap, and once Swift got it, it was game, set and match.
Well, he may need oxygen now, but this was something to savour. The 30-year-old in his 132nd game for Bath, and with 14 cup tries, that makes it 15, converted by Barnes, and Bath making it look like one-way traffic. And 25 points to nil as the second half gets underway is the emphatic nature of Bath's lead, and they really have taken this one by the scruff of the neck. Bill Beaumont, is there a way back for Gloucester now?
I don't think so at the moment. It's only their pack get going, get a little bit of ball, but Bath have been dominant in all stages of the game. They've got a lot more pace. And there we see again another knock-on by Gloucester. Bath will get the ball and play the percentage game, and I think they'll be quite happy to hang on to this 25-0 lead.
4 superb tries. They've taken each opportunity they've had. Gloucester have made the errors, Bath have played on them, and have basically grown in confidence with these experienced cup campaigners. 11 full internationals in the side, and they've called the tune. And again, Gloucester penalised. Fred Howard in charge in his 5th cup final. Experienced top-level international referee. This the latest infringement that gives Barnes another chance at points.
Yes, I think Fred Howard there, he penalised Marcus Hannaford there, the Gloucester scrum half, for obstructing Tony Swift when he went up to take that high ball.
Well, had Barnes been on his best kicking form, there could have been 9 points more. 3 penalties missed, but it seemed to matter too much as yet. But he's playing safe and going for the points on offer. Stuart Barnes, the Bath captain, back on target, and 28-0. It stretches by the minute. This side in their 50th cup tie, roared on by their massed ranks of supporters on this sweltering afternoon that isn't going to make life any easier than it is already for Gloucester. And, well, way in excess of any record margin of points if it stays round about this level in the 19-year history of England Cup finals. 5 finals, 5 wins, that's the Bath Cup final record. Well, that's Nigel Redmond in the powerhouse with Damien Cronin of Scotland Grand Slam fame. All-round strength in evidence, but some ironic cheers from the hordes of Gloucester supporters who perhaps outnumber Bath even as they win a penalty and a chance of first points.
Yeah, this is Tim Smith's first kick at goal, and I think that shows the dominance that Bath have had in this game, because what Gloucester want to do now, they're playing for a lot of pride. You know, they're a great rugby club, a lot of pride in the city there, that these lads will be wanting to finish on a decent note. They've missed out on the league. It looks as though they're going to miss out on the cup, and they'll feel very disappointed from what's been an outstanding season for them.
Yes, the frustration of ending last weekend as runners-up in the league, and all the signs of taking second best in the Pilkington Cup final too. But a long road still to run, as we're only 4 minutes into the second half. And here, Tim Smith, the fullback. Chance of first points. 52,000 people hushed. But it has been that sort of day so far for Gloucester. Little has gone their way. And Tim Smith, the 27-year-old who came from the local club, Gordon League and Brockworth, like so many of these players, fed into King's Home via the junior clubs, just hasn't come off on this one. Goes Chilcott, revelling in these occasions, but Gloucester have possession. Mogg, 502nd appearance for the Gloucester club. Hannaford just trying to keep possession going. This is Don Caskey felled, but not a fair tackle. And Gloucester again have a chance of points. Will they go for 3 on the board? I think you can see here Caskey is felled after a bit late there by Nigel Redmond. And they're going for the try. Well, that's to their credit, but they need points galore. Hamlin, Mogg, Kasky trying to get it through for the chip and chase. Continued by Dunn. No possession again, Hannaford. But not the tidy finishing, only for Bath to be caught offside.
I think Bath are probably content to give away penalties here and let Bath run them. And here goes Gloucester again on a short one.
Held up a couple of metres out. Another penalty. And this time Bath diving over. Malcolm Preedy leading the way. Obogu in his path. So the rehearsed tap penalty move. Scrum half Hannaford. Kevin Dunn will stand off, with perhaps a pivot move. So there it goes, through to Smith, just short of the line, the follow-up. That could be done, it's there, and given. Done it is. And that's just what Gloucester needed. And that has given the supporters something to cheer about for the first time in the match.
And just reward here for Gloucester running it. You see there that Smith comes through on the crash. It looks as though the ball actually goes loose, but Kevin Dunn supporting well. Just look how he twists his way over there. A good try by Gloucester.
Well, good spirit, good courage, and spearheaded by the England v hooker Kevin Dunn. His 13th try of the season, and how much that was needed. Tim Smith to make it 6 points, which he does. So that could change the tenor of the game a bit. Neatly worked tap penalty move, using the power of the pack and the decoy runners. Ian Smith did the damage to set it up, turn and make it available so well. And watch how determination wins this one for Kevin Dunn. Round rolls off and over.
It's Smith who comes through, drives well. Ball's made available, but again, it's good hands by Kevin Dunn here. As we've mentioned before, it looks as though he's going to be held up, but he just twists and turned out of Victor Obugu's tackle there.
So, Bath, for the first time, really given something to think about in the match. They've dominated so long, and now the kicks are going to touch as well. So we're 8 minutes into the second half. Smiles for the first time, yes, for Gloucester, but still a long haul back. Bath with their half-dozen internationals in the pack, being tested for the first time. Scrivens goes on, touch. And a far cry really from last year in the Cup at the semi-final stage, when Gloucester were put out by Bath by the narrowest of margins, 6 points to 3. But neither of these clubs has known the meaning of defeat in a cup final. Gloucester here 3 times, twice winners, once a tie. Bath 5 out of 5. And still, of course, heavily odds on at this stage. Richard Hill, Stuart Barnes, Simon Halliday, pirouettes out of the first tackle, not the second, and it's Mogg. And that try has really lifted the Gloucester effort.
Yes, as you quite rightly say, Nigel, for the first time in the game that the Gloucester pack are actually harassing the Bath forwards into making mistakes. Before Richard Hill, he's been in the driving seat, he's been in an armchair getting the ball, but now all of a sudden he's seeing the Gloucester loose forwards coming through on this untidy ball.
So the scrummages have gone with the foot in. Hill sweetly away as ever. Barnes. Morgan's there though. Has support, Tim Smith. Back goes Redmond. And that's well won. Morgan the link. Hannaford to Hamlin. Goes himself. Nice break. Hamlin the captain, inside to Ian Smith. Covered and collared by Redmond. But still available and Gloucester possession. Hamlin, Mogg, Kasky, enveloped by Tony Swift. Breeze goes down, Guscott follows through with Halliday. And in these conditions, of course, we're going to start seeing the effects of the sweltering temperatures. Players have been taking any opportunity to go to the touchline for a swig of fluid, as you'll see now, and the supporters in bare top order.
And here we see it's a good tackle by Jerry Guscott there. But Tony Swith comes in on Richard Mogg, and just look at Guscott here, that it's so easy for a player to go over on the man there, concede a penalty, but he keeps on his feet and he holds the man up in the tackle. And then we see the rest of the Bath forwards arrive, and as they're driving forward, the ball's not available, so Bath get the scrum. You can see the referee just signalling there.
Jerry Guscott, who put his stamp of class on the match with the second try of the first half, to add to his 7 international tries we've seen in just 6 internationals. Halliday was the player receiving attention. He's fit and well again, back in the Bath midfield, playing what may be his farewell game. It may be his swan song because of persistent ankle injury troubles. Meantime, Gloucester creating more havoc than they've done for the whole of the game. Hamlin, straight out, but no advantage for the first knock-on. And it's those little decisions that can make a significant difference, Bill.
Quite easily, because now you see that Gloucester are getting these decisions because they're driving forward a little bit more, so it means they're probably getting twice as much possession as they did in the first half. But really, I think one or two of the Bath forwards are taking a bit of a breather here, and certainly I think that try has been a great fillip for Gloucester, and vice versa, just reminded the Bath players that there is still a game to be played here.
Bogu, Dor, Chilcott packed down against Preedy, Dunn and Pascal. Hannaford now at half-back. Ian Smith, who's begun to come into his own here. Not so clever from Hannaford, but Smith gathers it. Tim Smith, the full-back. John Brain, Kevin Dunn. We're starting to roll off far more of the Gloucester names than was the case for the first 40 minutes. Unmistakably Gareth Chilcott.
I heard on the radio when he was interviewed this morning that he said he was down to about 16.5 stone. Well, I think he'll probably end up at about 15.5 after today's game.
Well, it really is a hothouse out there. Not a breath of wind either to ease the pain, because it does get painful and enervating. Scrummage collapses, free kick to Gloucester. Hannaford wanting to run at them, Teague to take them on, Ian Smith. This is more like it. John Gadd, Scrivens, Hamlin the link, Caskey, Richard Mogg. And beginning to run Bath around, which is what must have been their intention to start with. Some of the heavier weights in the pack. And quickly taken by Hannaford. Over from Brain, this is Morgan. Still come Gloucester, 5 metres out and just denied. But since the start of this second half, they've shown real determination, and who better to spearhead that effort than Mike Teague there. England and British Lions.
But at long last they're playing to their strength, which are the forwards, the driving support play, which they're renowned for over the years, Gloucester. And this is what's now sort of putting Bath under the cosh.
Ian Smith at the tail, gets the tap, Brain the link, Mogg, head on as ever. It's on Bath's 22. Hill now though, Guscott opts to ease the pain and pressure. Added dimension to his game are some of these very effective clearances if he can take off both feet.
Yes, I'm going to say that in the first half we're describing how good he was off his left foot, but that wasn't bad if that was his weaker foot.
Jerry Guscott, just 24 years old, and already in his 4th cup final. There's some concern about the fitness of his teammate Victor Obogu at the moment. Well, play goes on. And Obogu takes his position on the halfway line. Kevin Dunn. Dave Edgerton rolls it on to Kevin Withy, who opened the scoring. Hill so sharp away. Halliday to Guscott. Adebayo. Good cover from Morgan. Well, we've not seen a lot of this 19-year-old on the Bath left wing, Adebayo, playing in his first cup final, and a player of tremendous talents who was being brought on as Bath do so well, slowly but already making an impact with a hatful of tries, 12 tries in his first 17 games for Bath. Graham Dorr farms in the Tamar Valley, travels up to Bath, 300-mile return trip twice a week. That's the keenness of the club. And a bit of something or other going on in there. Referee Fred Howard steps in. And looks like a send-off here for John Gadd. Well, we couldn't see it first time. John Gadd has been sent off by Fred Howard, who, as we know from his international performances this season, takes a firm line, and rightly so. But John Gadd really is the end of Gloucester's hopes. I think he stepped in there, yeah.
Well, certainly the referee had no alternative there as the play goes on, that because John Gadd came in and had no intention of going for the ball. It looked to just stamp straight on one of the Bath players' faces, and Fred Howard, who sent 2 players off already this season in the international, had no alternative but to send them off.
Well, forlorn-looking John Gadd trudges wearily to the dressing room and really, I think, signals the end of Gloucester's hopes of a real comeback. Fred Howard, firm in his disciplinary enforcement of the law, and rightly so in the game, with Carminati and Mosley sent off in internationals by him this season. A no-nonsense, fearless Fred, as he's been dubbed. So it'll be a rearguard action now. Watch for number 6 here. Largely obscured, I think, but a bit of trampling in there, which was right in front of the referee, and has no part in this game. Fred Howard will be going on to have charge of Wales internationals in Namibia. Meanwhile, Bath, life a little easier now after absorbing quite a lot of Gloucester pressure. "14 men in this heat will surely inevitably run out of steam in their effort, but bravely they attack with their 14. Tim Smith from fullback. Cleverly placed ball for Jim Breeze. Cleverly controlled follow-through kick. Adebayo covers.
Good defensive work by Adebayo. You notice how Tim Smith perhaps could have used the ball there. He had a 3-2, but good work here by the Bath left winger, because the ball's kicked ahead, beats the fullback. You notice how he comes across, doing what all good wingers do, cover well. But full mark to Gloucester. They're down to 14 men, but there's one thing about these lads, that they will fight to the bitter end. There's a lot of pride in their club.
Gloucester, a real rugby cauldron, representing really more than just the city itself, but the whole region, with so many junior clubs feeding to them. This is Mogg, who came from Treadworth. Mogg, wonderful run. Mogg still. Inside is Ian Smith. Halliday back with the tackle, but 12 metres out now, Gloucester. Win possession. Sterling stuff. Hamlin to John Brain. Looks for support. And some limbs, one senses, a little weary on both sides already. Cronin. Bath try to work it out to Adebayo. Inside Tim Smith. But Ian Smith clings. Still Gloucester ball. Hamlin. Caskey, cleverly done. Jim Breeze brought down by Halliday. But still the effort coming in, exemplified by Mike Teague there. He'll do the work of 2 men. It's back to Hill, to Barnes. End of the nonsense, says he. So the cool, clinical Bath skipper. 2 cup finals with Bristol and 4 successful with Bath since then. Kevin Dunn. Round comes Preedy, but speaking to it. Richard Hill. Testing Smith. Tim Smith caught by Swift.
A lot of very tired looking forwards here that are walking from set piece to scrum and then back to line out, because in this heat it must be really hard work, and especially for the Gloucester pack when they're down to 7 men now.
Well, the estimate was of somewhere up in the 90s in the first half. Those of you who like to convert it into however many Celsius, centigrade, whatever, will know what that means. Very hot.
With the dominance that they've got with the extra men now, Bath, I would think what they'll try and do is play a lot of close quarter stuff with David Edgerton and Richard Hill, exploiting the lack of a man in the Gloucester back row.
7 against 8. It's a nightmare situation, really, for a cup final, and the last thing under the circumstances Bath could have dreamed happened. This is Hill now. Swift had come inside. So Richard Hill, who scored that magnificent try here in the internationals, this time looking for the man outside who'd anticipated an inside pass. Great season for the 14 times capped Englishman. Edgerton with the deflection. Obogu sets it up for Halliday. Busts through one tackle, tries to find Guscott. Advantage being played here for Gloucester, a knock-on by Bath. None comes. Out from the Gloucester line. Mike T looks for the man inside. It's Hannaford. This is Hamlin spreading it well, not quite so clean on the pass. Morgan trapped. Even Bath at times a little slipshod, but hard to maintain the momentum when you have a 28-6 lead and you're playing against 14 men. In a sense, doesn't make your task any easier. Into the last quarter now, about 18 minutes remain. Edgerton to Andy Robinson. Hill thrown in the diving scrum half. Halliday, beautiful pass to Guscott, floated for Swift, but a shade long. Still a chance. Callard. Swift is over. That's his second try, and that really seals Gloucester's fate. His 16th try in Cup Rugby, that's a new record, and it was a reflection in the end of Bath. Just too many guns.
And the floated pass, it didn't go to hand but with Bath, with the extra men, that they've got time to regather the ball, and really it wasn't as finished off as clinically as it should have been. That Swift, with that marginally forward, I don't know, but he'll be pleased to get 2 tries, and I'm certain his dad will be, who's a butcher and no doubt supplying him with plenty of sirloin steak. But again, you see, he's got time to